I thought this was not only an historic move by the ECB, but a slam dunk for Christine Lagarde and a win for Europe coming into the summer, even in the absence of any type of forward guidance here. Perhaps it's a strategy that Lagarde is using in her own favour. What's your view?
Well, I'm not that positive, Dan, because I think, yes, it was the best telegraphed rate cut ever, because we heard about it since February, in fact. It is also an attempt by the ECB to become more forward-looking again. So forget about actual data, but really focus on long-term, on their own forecast. The only problem is that the ECB was actually very critical about its own forecasting skills just a couple of months ago. And now they started to cut interest rates because they think that inflation is under control, looking at their inflation forecast with inflation going back to below 2% by the end of 25, staying there in 26. So I think it is a courageous step that they made, but it's also a risky game.
Lagarde says she needs more data to confirm that we're on this disinflation path. And of course, Eurozone inflation actually went up in May. Your view is that we could be at risk of what you've called a reverse Trichet moment. Walk me through it.
Yeah, well, Jean-Claude Trichet, former ECB president before Mario Draghi, actually had two moments in which he and the ECB diverted from the Fed. One was in 2008, when the Fed was already cutting rates in order to tackle the financial crisis, when the ECB started to hike interest rates. In 2011, when Europe was just getting out of the euro crisis, the ECB thought, let's go and hike interest rates. Well, just in order to find out that we are in the middle of a longer stagnation. And then Mario Draghi came in 6 months later and had to cut interest rates. So there is indeed currently the risk that the ECB had it wrong for the third time, and that inflation will be stickier, that wage growth will pick up, that the regaining of momentum of the Eurozone economy will also fuel inflationary pressures, that the ECB might be at a point later this year in which they would have to reverse the June rate cut.